shaved a couple pounds off of me. I'm down to 265, so it's pretty fun just to, train with my guys for the whole summer and just to see people grow. It was a pretty cool thing.
We see a lot of preseason Big Ten, preseason All-American. Does your family ever call you and they're super proud of you, or do you see any of those kind of preseason hype polls?
Yeah, it's cool. Honestly, they tell me good job, but they also keep me humble, and they always tell me it's good to get the preseason accolades, but don't forget the main goal, which is to dominate, just be the same consistent guy every day.
We heard a lot in the offseason about other teams pursuing Illinois players, Luke especially in the SEC. Why did you make the decision here to come back to Illinois, and what were some of the factors for you?
Illinois is just home. It just sounds right. Been here since 22, and I couldn't leave these guys, and we build our foundation here, and I couldn't leave these guys. These guys are my family, and they mean everything to me.
Was there a decision process as far as the NFL draft goes? Did you consider that?
Yeah, I did for a little while. I considered my options, and pretty much just went off based off what the coaches were saying and my family.
Being a lighter weight, how does that help you? What does that allow you to do on the field?
Just being more explosive. I just love just playing at this weight. A lot of stress off my joints and stuff. So it's been pretty cool just to see myself just continuously have gains, and it's been pretty fun.
Does the staff have goals for you in 2025? Have they laid those out?
Not really. I just lay out my own goals, just pretty much go off for that.
As I heard Coach B talk about guys running pretty fast, and you're one of those guys. Does being able to run faster, how does that kind of help you at your position?
Obviously, edge rusher is the premier position. Those guys are explosive. Those guys are fast. Those guys are pretty strong. Just being at that weight, and then that's a position where you got to be fast, you got to be explosive, you got to change direction. So it's pretty cool to see myself in that 20-mile-per-hour club, and I'm just excited just to see where I go.
You mentioned Illinois being home. How has it become home over the years?
Just the guys I came in with since my freshman year, just to see those level of growth, those players, and the days that we just hang out and interact with each other on a day-to-day basis is they're like my brothers.
You said you have some individual goals. Do you put a number on that? Sacks, tackles for losses?
No, I don't. I just want to be the best me every day, and just be consistent, as I said, and just be a dominant player on the field.
Change your body a little bit this offseason?
Yeah.
What did you trim down to, and from what, and how do you feel that?
I was about I'll say 280 in the winter, 275 during the spring ball, and then this whole summer just changed such things as my diet and how I ate and how I just just pretty much just how I train and just putting the right stuff in my body, and obviously putting the extra work in, and now I'm down to 265, so it's been pretty cool.
Did you cut out the Girl Scout cookies?
I tried to, but whenever I could, I just ate it whenever I could. So.
Yeah, Coach Jameson over here if you need him.
I take it with the less weight, do you see yourself as mostly standing up as an edge rusher? Or do you envision any snaps with your hand on the ground?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even though I still lost weight, I can still do both. So that doesn't change, in my versatility.
Does Brett Bielema, he used to talk about, he gets a lot of NFL scouts here, right? Does he ever talk about you and NFL development?
Not really. Coach B does a good job of just, keeping me focused on the main goal and just pretty much putting the team first. Obviously we got a lot of good guys here. Just obviously Xavier Scott, Matt Bailey, JC, and those guys, that came back for another year. Those are the guys that I want to play with and I want to have their backs.
Just heading into 2025, does it feel any different than 2024 just because of the preseason hype?
No, it don't feel different at all. The preseason hype, it is what it is. It's cool, but, it doesn't matter at the end of the day if you don't produce, because it's a performance-based game.
At this point, you ever look back and think about your journey from, flipping at the last minute from Tulane and to where you're at now in your career?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal just looking back, coming out of high school, I just never imagined, you never really imagine, the end, but just being here right now is a pretty cool moment, and I'm just pretty much just taking it all in, and I just can't wait to play with those guys, against Western Illinois.
The way you were able to make an instant impact here, was that ever a challenge? You kind of set the expectation for yourself right away, and was it a challenge to kind of live up to those expectations year in and year out?
No, it wasn't really a challenge. You know, my brother, Khalid Jacas, he just prepared me for that moment. Just being in high school, I owe that guy everything because he got me ready for college. Just the late nights and the extra workouts and just putting myself ahead of everybody else. In high school, where everybody was just watching out, sitting watching TV after practice. We coming in at 6 p.m. in the gym, just putting in work and the extra hours.
Is there any offensive players that have been giving the defense fits in the first day of fall camp or maybe spring camp? Is there any skill position players that have done well against your guys' defense?
Like, you mean skill?
Like wide receivers or running backs, and any of those players kind of making noise against you guys in practice?
Yeah, like Aiden Lawfrey, Caden Fagan, and Khalil Valentine. Those are all like really good backs, and obviously in the receiver room like Malik LZ, Hudson Clement, Caco Jones. Those are all guys that's going to be really good, and I'm excited to see them just flourish throughout fall camp, and I just love to compete against those guys.
Seems like you were under recruited a little bit coming out of high school. Did that give you an extra edge or a chip on your shoulder? And does that kind of endure still now? Or?
Yeah, a little bit. Just prove the doubters wrong. Like obviously, maybe I was under recruited, but that's fine. I was grateful to have an offer from Illinois, and they've welcomed me with open arms since then, and I'm just loving the fan base and what Illinois has done for me in the past 3 to 4 years, and I'm giving Illinois everything I have this year.